What's up, Falcons Nation? It's your boy Jew coming at you with another Atlanta Falcons video. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up. In today's video, I want to do a quick mock draft. I did do a mock draft yesterday and said it was my final mock draft, but I had one of my YouTube subscribers ask me to drop another mock draft today. So this is going to be a very brief mock draft. I'm just going to give you guys the picks. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I'm definitely going to give you guys the picks in the second mock draft, and you guys let me know what you think. But as always, if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell for your boy, and so you'll know when I've done Atlanta Falcons content, and hit that like button for your boy. I appreciate all you guys for continuing to tune in. But without further ado, let's jump right into the video. So with our first round pick in the 2020 NFL draft, and this will be pick 16, I have our Atlanta Falcons selecting Javon Kinlaw out of the University of South Carolina. He goes 6'6", 320 pounds. He's a very physical player, good at stopping the run. Will be excellent next to Grady Jarrett. He'll be able to free Grady Jarrett up with those double teams and allow Grady Jarrett to get more tackles for loss and get more sacks. He'll free up the guys on the edge, Pat McKinley's of the world, the John Kaminsky's of the world, the Dante Fowlers. He'll make their jobs a lot easier with pressuring, bringing pressure right up in the A gaps, him and Grady Jarrett. Excellent at penetrating in the backfield. I was hesitant to pick Javon Kinlaw in the last mock draft because I'm not too sure if he'll be available at 16. I believe we're going to have to move up, but I'm not too sure what we're going to have to give up when we trade up. And I'm sure teams are going to want some more of our draft picks. Well, right now we only have 6 draft picks in this upcoming draft. So I would rather go with K'Lavon Chaisson if we're not going to have to trade up to give up a bunch of picks. But I do think that Kinlaw is worth giving up the picks. If we have him high on our draft board, higher than K'Lavon Chaisson, I always believe you should trade up to go get the player that you really want, that you have number 1 on your draft board, if you can afford to mortgage your future. And at this point, Dan Quinn and Thomas Dimitroff are both on the hot seat. So I definitely could see them moving up in this upcoming draft and try to get, the player that they really want and not settling for whoever's their best player available. Now, in round 2, I have with pick 47, I have our Atlanta Falcons selecting Antoine Winfield Jr., safety out of the University of Minnesota. He goes 5'9", 203 pounds. I really love this kid as well. Very smart, cerebral, just like a Ricardo Allen. He doesn't have great athleticism, but he has pretty good athleticism. He does have a great football pedigree because his father, Antoine Winfield Sr., did play in the NFL and played for many years with the Minnesota Vikings. And I think he also played with the Buffalo Bills, but he was very successful in his pro career. And it looked like it rubbed off on his son because his son looks like he's very knowledgeable of the game. Did an excellent job at Minnesota at intercepting the ball in crucial moments. Being a ball hawk, made great tackles, also returned punts at the University of Minnesota, took one punt back to the house for a touchdown last season. So this guy's just a big playmaker. And I think that the Falcons could always use this. You can never have enough playmakers. So the Falcons can definitely use more playmakers on the defensive side of the ball. And I could see Antoine Winfield Jr. being one of those guys that could help cause turnovers and be a backup to the DeMonte Caseys and the Ricardo Allens of the world. And in the dime and big nickel situations, I could see them putting Antoine Winfield on the field and allowing him to do his thing. But he's a very solid tackler, very sound football player, knows how to read coverage, different coverages, is good at reading different route trees for wide receivers and tight ends. And if you just go pull up the guy's YouTube highlights, you're going to be very impressed by what you see in Antoine Winfield Jr. Now, in round 3, this will be pick 78. I had our Atlanta Falcons taking Bryce Hall, 6'1", 202, defensive back from the University of Virginia. This kid reminds me of Brian Poole, that was with our Atlanta Falcons a couple years ago, that now plays with the New York Jets. This guy is a very sound football player, good tackler, very physical corner, one of the bigger corners in this draft. And he's one of those guys that has very long arms. He did a good job of batting footballs away and intercepting passes. He's another ball hawk and playmaker. At the University of Virginia, he was definitely one of the best defensive players that they had at the University of Virginia for the last couple seasons, and one of the best college defensive backs when you go look at his ratings. So I definitely like Bryce Hall, and I definitely think that we could, grab him at in round 3. Now, in round 4, pick 119, I have the Atlanta Falcons taking Bradley Anae, defensive end out of the University of Utah. He goes 6'3", 257 pounds. This dude is a beast, has a very high motor, good at setting the edge in the run game. Very, like I said, very physical. I can definitely see him getting some penalties in his future because I've seen plays where he was body slamming players when he was in college. But he's a very physical guy. He's a tone setter. He kind of puts me in the mind of Michael Bennett that played with the Seattle Seahawks by the way he plays, his attitude that he plays with on the field. He has a very nasty attitude when he's on the field, which is a good thing. He plays through the whistle sometimes. And he's very, very physical. Definitely can be that tone setter. Definitely is a player that likes to intimidate other players on the opposing team, like quarterbacks and running backs and whoever he's tackling. He likes to definitely add some stank on his tackles, as I like to say. He's definitely one of those guys that plays through the whistle, but I definitely think that he would be one of those players that could help bring pressure, and he could definitely be a part of the rotation with Dante Fowler, John Kaminsky, Steven Means, and those guys with rushing the passer. Now with pick or round, our second round 4 pick, because we have 2 4th-round picks due to the trade for Hayden Hurst with the Baltimore Ravens. This will be pick 134. I have our Atlanta Falcons taking Zach Moss, teammate of Bradley Anae at the University of Utah. He's a running back, goes 5'9", 225. This guy's a beast. Puts me in the mind of Jamal Anderson, the former Atlanta Falcon, Mr. Dirty Bird himself. Very big guy. Zach Moss has a ton of speed. He's probably faster than a Jamal Anderson that used to be with our Falcons, but he runs with the same physicality that Jamal Anderson, former Atlanta Falcons player, ran with. He runs with attitude. He's a one-cut running back. He doesn't do a ton of juking in the backfield, but if he hits a crease, he definitely can hit his head on the goalpost and get home and score touchdowns. He's definitely a big play running back, and he also is a good short yardage running back because he goes north and south. He doesn't do a bunch of dancing like Ito Smith and like Devontae Freeman. He's more of a hand him the ball like Brian Hill and Quadri Olison, hand him the ball, one cut, and he's going downhill and to get as many yards as he possibly can, and he's running through whoever's in his way. So I definitely like Zach Moss. I believe they said he led in his collegiate career last season. He led the all running backs in college with the most yardage after contact because he is one of those big physical running backs that doesn't back down to anybody. And like I said, he tries to run through any and everybody. So I do like his attitude he plays with. And I do like the speed that he has because he has deceptive speed. Even though he's a bigger running back, he has a lot of speed. If you go watch his highlight reels on YouTube, Zach Moss, you're going to be very impressed. But with our last pick, which will be in round 7, this is picked 228. I have our Atlanta Falcons selecting Cameron Brown, linebacker out of the University of Penn State. He goes 6'5", 235 pounds. He kind of puts me in the mind of Devondre Campbell, just a faster version and a little bit lighter version, because I believe Devondre Campbell weighed a little bit more than 235. But this guy is kind of a project, but he has a ton of speed, very athletic, very tall, long arms. And I can definitely see him developing under Jeff Ulbrich, who is the defensive or assistant defensive coach and also the linebackers coach. and he's a great teacher of the game. And I definitely think that if he worked with Cameron Brown out of Penn State, I definitely think that he could get the best out of this guy. And if this guy that sits under the tutelage of Deion Jones and Afoye Oluokun, I could definitely see him being a contributor on his team, whether it's in special teams or whether it's getting a couple snaps behind Afoye Oluokun or Deion Jones. If either one of those guys happen to get injured this year, I definitely think that Cam Brown could come in and possibly help our Atlanta Falcons out. But like I said, he's a great tackler, great sideline to sideline running back because he's one of the lighter running backs. But he is a tall, physical presence. And I definitely think that he could possibly be that thumper that we need now that we lost Devondre Campbell and coming down in the run game and being that land shark. Excuse me. With that being said, this been your boy Jew. You guys let me know what you think in the comments of this mock draft. Like I said, as always, I appreciate you guys. If you ever have any questions, definitely drop that in the comment section. If you would like me to do a video about a player or do a video about another topic, just like just like one of the YouTubers that requested me doing another mock draft, definitely just drop it in the comment section or hit me up on Twitter. I'll be happy to do what I can or do the research if I don't know anything about that particular player. But I appreciate all of you guys. And as always, Falcons Nation, rise up. I'll holler at you guys later. Probably I'll probably holler at you guys on Thursday before the draft or after the draft or during the draft. But you guys let me know what you think of the video in the comment section. Let me know what you think of my second mock draft. But with that being said, this been your boy Jew signing out. I'm off. And as always, Nation, rise up. Peace.